being perfect, is not about that scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. It's about you and your relationship to yourself and your family and your friends.
All right, welcome back to the C.O.C. City of the Champions podcast. Talar, how have you been?
I've been really good. How have you been?
I paused for a second because clearly we are City of the Champions. It says a lot.
Did we win something lately?
Yeah, we won. We did win the World Series. Not to brag
good.
to other cities, but TitleTown, here we are. That's why we're called City of the Champions podcast. Sox won in Game 5 against the LA Dodgers. I honestly thought it was going to be a sweep, but you know what? Give the Dodgers a shot and take it again the next night. But that game that they won, wow, that was the longest game ever.
The 18-inning game?
The 18-inning game, yeah. The longest game I ever witnessed, but I think it was the longest game in history.
It was the longest game in World Series history.
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing?
So what I did is I was out at a bar, and then I listened to it on the radio, and then I came home. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna finish it. I'm sure it's gonna be over within an inning or two. Nope, it still went on till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh, I sat and I watched the whole thing beginning to end, and oh my god, what a game! Like, so Alex Cora threw out all of his guys, right? So everybody he had played that night.
Yeah.
And I just remember Evaldi just pitched a magnificent game. He was phenomenal.
That was a great game.
And I felt so bad when they lost because he put like his heart and soul into pitching. He pitched like 5-6 innings, like no complaints.
I mean, it is what it is, but it gave the Dodgers a little bit of life. But once I knew that happened, I was like, you know what, we're gonna come back ready to go. And look what we did. We did it.
Yeah, and you know what? They did it, and they know everybody in the lineup was just awesome. I
honestly didn't get to witness it because the way my work schedule goes, but I did watch highlights, and it was just magnificent. The way they ended was even similar to 2013. The strikeout, same thing that happened in 2013. The strikeout was great. And then, you know, we cued the duck boats. The duck boats came a week ago today, which was awesome. All around great. And I actually got to, luckily, where I work, I luckily got to witness the parade, like, as I'm leaving work. The duck boats were just coming to the street that I was on. And you know what? I stayed for a little bit and watched the duck boats go by.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you know, I didn't get to watch the game, but I got to see the duck boat parade. So, you know,
there you go.
Not all complaining.
I wouldn't complain either.
No. So yeah, it was all around great, and I did get to see like the beginning where they were doing some stuff at the park, but all around it was a great series, and they deserved this because 108 wins in the regular season.
Unreal. And
Alex Cora just being the manager for the first year as a general manager.
He was awesome.
Yeah,
he was like, and he's so likable.
He is, yeah.
Oh
and whoever threw that beer at him,
come on.
Shame on you.
Come on.
I know you didn't mean it, but show a little respect.
I know, like, what? Why are you throwing beer? Like.
And the same thing with was it JD Martinez who got the beer thrown at him too? Yeah,
so.
And also congrats to JDJ for having a kid. Or I think he had a kid today.
Mookie had a kid.
No, Mookie had a
kid
Mookie
yesterday.
Mookie had a kid.
Congratulations, Mookie Betts, on your new baby girl.
I don't know why he was in a hospital gown though. But sorry, yeah, Mookie had a kid. But yeah, that was a great series, and I'm so happy. I'm so glad we won, and And I don't know if you when a couple of players came out to talk, and even Alex Cora, he was talking about how
Yeah, the sky was falling.
We're losing
we
to the
lost
Yankees
game 2.
in the playoffs.
He was panicking here. Everybody was like, "Whoa, it's over."
And then it's I guess fans were
We
like
scored
turning him
16
down on
at Yankee
Twitter. That's
Stadium.
how
Suck on it.
Boston is.
Oh yeah.
Boston will quickly love you, and then
Quickly hate
once you lose like 3 or 4 games in a row, they'll hate you spot on. It's our society. We are spoiled. We are City of the Champions. What do we have? 11 titles in the last decade in the 21st century, pretty much.
Yeah, 11 in 16 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
That's nuts.
Spoiled.
Spoiled. And then majority of Patriots and Sox, which
Yeah.
is, we do have Celtics there and Bruins.
And we got a Bruins one too.
But
Pats and Sox.
Pats and
Pats and
Sox
Sox?
are dominating, and I hope the Celtics and the Bruins can get back on that
I want 3
train.
more parades. My
Yeah,
friend. I
we want
3
another.
more this year.
We want to keep queuing the duck boats here.
That's
We
it.
just want to keep going.
I want Tom Brady on a duck boat.
Yeah.
I want Marshawn
You know
on
what?
a duck boat.
If the
I want
duck boats
Kyrie on
keep-
a duck boat.
If the duck boats keep coming by, I don't mind paying a couple of bucks to park in the garage for a day.
That's
You
it.
know what?
Well worth it.
I'll take it any day.
I think we all would.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what? To start this show, I'm so happy that these Sox came to the World Series and won it because they 100% deserve it. They were the best team in the MLB.
Oh, absolutely.
And we got Alex Cora being a finalist for General Manager of the Year, Mookie Betts MVP finalist, Mookie, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Kinsler all getting Golden Gloves award.
You wouldn't be able to tell that Kinsler would win a Golden Glove by that Game 3. That
No.
will tell you.
No.
Oh my! I was so mad, and I'm not one to usually watch baseball consistently, but in
Yeah.
the playoffs I do.
Do
I was just, oh my god, Kinsler.
Do you agree that Steve Pearce deserved the MVP though?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the MVP could have gone a few ways. I think Evaldi was definitely in the conversation.
I thought.
You know, so it could have gone there, but Steve Pearce offensively carried this team the last 2 games, and he did a phenomenal job fielding as well as just when they needed offense. It wasn't Mookie, it was him.
Would you think of Evaldi doing the Air Jordan in the outfield one of the nights?
The Benny.
Yeah,
It was
Benny.
Benny.
Benny, sorry.
I loved it. The Sully's has a shirt that says Benny on it. It looks like the Jordan logo, but it's Benny going like this.
So
and I might get that.
There was a
It's awesome.
Facebook post saying who did it better, and I'm just like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do who did it better. It's obviously Jordan.
But it just,
It's just funny.
it's just
funny.
so awesome that
But-
I think I loved it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love that it's been turned into shirts and things like that. I think it's hilarious.
So funny fact about Steve Pearce, not funny, but a fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a big Cape Cod baseball guy.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these players were former Cape League players.
Oh wow,
How crazy is that?
Steve Pearce too.
Steve Pearce was a Cotulla Kettler, but a lot of these guys were from Yarmouth Dennis players. And then there was a
wow.
couple of Hyannis, and I know there was a Chatham guy there. But it's amazing.
Wow, small world.
It is
huh?
a small world, but I want to prove to my fans and listeners that I know I tweet a lot of Cape Cod stuff, Cape Cod Baseball League stuff, but that league is the cream of the crop for MLB. It is.
It certainly sounds like it.
It certainly
Yeah.
is. So, definitely check it out if you do go down to the Cape. But all around, this was a great, great series. Sadly, it wasn't more interesting, but
I mean,
the
it was
Dodgers
good,
had
though.
no chance.
No, and listen, I there's a part of me that does wish that they came and won it here because it's always fun when the home team wins at home. Right? The
Yeah,
whole
especially at a park like Fenway Park that's like what
thing.
100 years old,
The oldest in the league.
Yeah,
But there were so many Sox fans in LA. You
yeah.
couldn't tell.
There's no
difference.
legit diehard LA fan.
I mean, everyone's a transplant out there.
Yeah.
It surprised me. You would look at the stands on the TV and it was red and let's go Red Sox
Cora
chants.
Cora basically said that come the end of the game that there was a lot of Sox players like the whole stadium was chanting Sox and LA Dodgers.
And I want to give some love real quick to David Price.
Yeah.
Because this guy's had, a heck of a year. It's like he fights with the media and like, which I get because Boston media is its own entity. It's its own thing entirely to deal with. But, he never once made you doubt that he was a good teammate.
Yeah.
And it's, when someone asked him after the World Series, what does it mean to you to be a good teammate? He started crying. And I felt in that moment so happy for him that he could share this with these guys. And he went up to Alex Cora in like every game and was like, if you need me, I'm ready.
Yeah.
He would have pitched the night before, but he's like, I'm ready. Like, I'm in the,
let's go.
bullpen. That's what you want to see. For a guy making as much money as he is, and he pitched well. He really lived up to it.
Yeah, it shows that he wanted it.
Yeah, and you love it.
Yeah.
You love to see stuff like that. He was great. Kelly was awesome in this
Kelly
series.
was great.
I really hope they can hold on to him. Kelly, Evaldi, the pitching was actually very good in this one.
And going through the season, we were worried about our bullpen.
Yeah, but and I think in the first round in the ALDS, they were, there was worries about the bullpen and the Yankees and stuff. The Yankees have big bats. The Sox bullpen, I don't know. And the Sox bullpen, just everybody that came out of there was like a stud.
I know.
Blew you away. Wow.
Even beating Houston, who has a great bullpen.
Oh, yeah.
They were probably, one of the number one teams in their division, but we proved them wrong. I mean, they had it last year, but it was our turn.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They did a great job, and they earned it.
They did.
They really did.
And they kept celebrating. They even celebrated in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and
that was great.
I loved that they did that.
Went to the TD Garden twice.
And went to Foxborough.
Went to Foxborough.
Took a duck boat into the stadium.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was so cool. I love that here. Whenever one of our sports teams wins, all the sports teams are like, "Come here, let's celebrate together." That's awesome. And I love that they showed this little clip. Before the Bucks-Celtics game, I believe the Red Sox went in, a bunch of them with the trophy and Alex Cora and stuff. And Alex Cora went up and gave Brad like a high five and was like, "You started this." And Brad's like, "No, you started this." They're like best friends now. And I'm like, you guys are like awesome. You love seeing that with coaches and managers. Like, just, it's so much fun to watch.
It's Cassidy and Stevens both said, we rooted for Cora every step of the way. And you know what? We hope to, do the same thing for Boston. Now it's their turn to do their job.
Yeah, and I know that for a fact that Brad Stevens, I don't know about Bruce Cassidy, but I know Brad Stevens has used the Sox as an example in a lot of his coaching the last few weeks that they were in the World Series and everything.
Yeah.
He was like, look at the Sox and look at what they're doing. Just because Brock Holt sits one night, he comes in the next night and he has a cycle. Like, he's always ready, and he basically the Celtics were watching the Sox games, like all of them. They were invested in this team heavily because Brad was pulling a lot of lessons from them. They learned a lot from these guys, which you love to see.
Yeah. So obviously, we got a championship, to end the year, which is good because sadly the Patriots didn't get it done, but we got the Sox to get it done. So let's keep going. Let's just keep going.
There are 3 other teams still playing sports.
And we got loads to talk about. So have any final thoughts? I don't want to cut you off.
Nothing really. I want to give a shout out to Eduardo Nunez because in that game 3, the guy was basically broken and he still kept playing and he played well. So props to him. That was just awesome. And props to the whole team for just being so much fun.
Kudos to the whole 2018 Red Sox team. I think that was one of the greatest seasons I've ever witnessed in my life.
Absolutely.
But we got some Boston Celtics to talk about.
What's up?
A month into the season already, time's flying.
A little less than a month.
A little less than a month.
So almost.
Holidays are just around the corner, but let's get right into it. Their record is 6 wins, 4 losses. They've had a couple of trouble games lately, and I do want to talk about the recent games. You have the floor. You can start whatever game you want. I know Denver. One of them they lost by 1 point, and another lost by 5 points.
Yes, they're close.
But you have the floor. I'm gonna let you lead the way because this is your mojo. So go ahead.
Thank you. So someone came out. I think it was one of the big time NBA reporters came out today and said that the Celtics actually have the toughest schedule to start the year in the league. So them being 6-4 is not really the worst thing in the world.
No,
it
could be worse.
It could be worse, and for integrating a bunch of guys coming off major injury and learning how to play together again, it's actually pretty encouraging.
I just think, with us being Boston fans and having the roster we have, especially on that first line, we were expecting high expectation, even though there were a couple injuries on our big players.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like us as Celtics fans and Boston fans, we had higher expectations for the start of the season. But it doesn't surprise me because some of these players are not fully 110%.
Exactly. So what I think a lot of us fall victim to is you see how good they were in the playoffs, and you're like, oh, let's take that team and just slide in these two superstars who, in our heads, are of course going to be 100%.
Get rid of that out of your head.
Exactly.
That's
so
what I want.
That's the problem, right? Is you think we'll take whatever we did last year and we'll be exactly the same, but with two more better players, and we'll be healthy and we'll be even better. It doesn't work like that. You have to work towards a new chemistry. You have
brand new season, everyone.
New season, new
brand
everything.
New, yeah.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people fell victim to that thinking, which is why there was so much frustration to start the year.
I think 99% of our fans were thinking that.
Yeah, and I can't lie. It's easy to fall victim. I mean, I kind of did that too. I was like, oh my God, they're going to be so good.
I'm sure you thought of that too.
I was like, you see the picture in media day and the starting five is all standing like this. And you get excited. But then reality sets in when they play the games and you're like, that's right. They need to relearn a bunch of things, which is normal. And, I think the process is the victory at the end if they win a title. The process of getting there like this makes it sweeter almost because it's a longer process.
Mm-hmm.
The Pacers loss hurt. I can't lie. Victor Oladipo's really good.
That was just,
It's just one of those things. They struggle in Indiana usually. They struggle in New York, which is why when they had that tight game against the Knicks, I wasn't really concerned. The Denver game doesn't concern me either. Over 25 years, the Celtics have won in Denver 8 times. In 25 years. 8 times. They don't win there. They never win there. When they're good, they don't win. When they're bad, they don't win. It doesn't matter. It's just one of those things with them. And I'm sure the Bruins have this.
Do you think it's something specific in Denver that they can't win?
Well, obviously, one, you have the air, right? Like the altitude thing, where it's thinner and it's harder to breathe up there. But it's just every team in every sport, I think, has this place where they just can't win. Or they don't play as well. And no one knows what it is. I'm sure the Bruins have a place.
Like the Bills coming up Gillette?
Like when the Bills come to Gillette. But I'm sure the Bees have a arena where they go in and they struggle for no reason whatsoever. But against one specific team, they're always struggling. Like Denver in Denver for the Celtics. I'm sure the Bruins have a team that they do that against too. It's always like the Patriots sometimes do it against the Jets in New York.
But they're not a high altitude place. But that's
It just in general, like every team has that other team that they just have a handful with.
Yeah.
And no one knows why. It happens. Listen, Jamal Murray played a hell of a game. The Celtics should not have lost either of these because they were up by double digits. So the defense has to get better.
What are your thoughts on Kyrie throwing a ball into the stands?
I loved it. Listen,
I really wanted to know
pissed.
what your thoughts were.
He's pissed, and
last time you love Kyrie.
He's pissed, and last time he got this mad and he yelled at a Sixers fan, they went and won 16 straight games. So
he admit that it was the stupidest thing he did though.
Yeah, and he got fined, and he knew, but like.
$26,000. All right, just.
It's
dish it out.
for a guy making as much as he does, is, pocket change. But you never want to pay.
It's like
fine.
coffee money to me, but yeah.
It's like nothing. But listen, they'll figure the defensive part out. They'll get better. You just have to keep playing. This will
But
only
you
make
know
you
what?
better.
I just think every team like this, especially with the Celtics, like maybe this is their funk that they need to get out of. Instead of being in December or January, maybe this is the time they're gonna fix their.
Everyone would prefer it to be this time of year.
That's
So
what
I'm fine with
That's
it.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm praying that this is their little funk. Kyrie's not 100% yet. Hayward's not 100% yet. So maybe this is something they need to work and find the right formula.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad record. I'm not saying that
it's okay.
this is awful, but with the way we are in Boston, we just expect higher expectations.
We're gonna go undefeated. It's
Yeah,
82 games, man. No,
it's
you're
a
not.
it's a long season. We got ways to go. No one's perfect.
It's a lot
but
to build off of.
But I feel like just it's in me feeling that it's rough, but we gotta move forward.
Yeah. In the last game or two, ever since Kyrie cut his hair, he looks normal. He's scoring like 30
Good.
points a night. Awesome, like superstar Kyrie. You
Good.
know, Gordon will get there. I'm not concerned about him. There's a lot to work back from. And he's still on a minutes restriction.
Yeah,
So it's hard. I'm not concerned
It's a
about the guy.
huge surgery.
His ankle was pointing in the opposite direction like last year.
Yes.
But what he does do well, he had 9 rebounds the other night. That's important. Like,
Yeah.
you're doing other things. You're not
That's
just...
like an assist.
You don't have to just score. That doesn't define... So what he does is he's
As
really
long as
good.
he's making plays.
He's a really good playmaker. He's a good point forward. So he's really good at creating for others, like passing, rebounding, steals. Those are the things. Like his defense, all these teams are picking on him because his ankle's not 100%. So it's easy to like go against him when he plays defense.
Screw you, everyone else.
Like so they're like, oh, I have Gordon Hayward on me. I know what to back up. Like that's what they're thinking, which stinks. But that's what it is, and he's not gonna be. Gordon's not going to be 100%, I don't think, until next season, to be completely honest. Which is normal. I mean, you use the year. It's like getting off an ACL tear. You're not really 100% the first year you're back.
No, and I feel you.
You'll be more 100% the second year, because now you're more used to it and everything like that. He did grab an alley-oop the other night, though, which made my heart stop.
Maybe if you don't think he's gonna be 100% this year, then wait till next year. Wait till I'm not saying wait till next year. I mean
Give it some time. Next year.
He'll be on fire.
Oh yeah. So it's him both coming back from injury and
I
getting used to the
I thought he
offense.
played great in the opener.
He has a lot of good energy. That's important,
Yeah.
Like if
it's
he can't score 25 points, he has good.
The
everything
way
else.
the way he goes out there, it shows that he's determined to be the best he can be.
Yeah, and I don't know about other people, but other than Kyrie and there's the rest of the team and Kyrie and everything, Gordon has been my favorite guy to watch because I love seeing because we never got to see him last year.
No.
So you want to see what can he actually do. Who
And
is this guy?
And I'll be honest, as being a newbie to the Boston, not newbie, but being a bigger follower than I was in the past, I never saw Gordon play in Indianapolis.
Utah.
I mean Utah. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
See, I'm not a basketball
I would YouTube
guy.
it. He's from Indy, so there's a win. I would
That's what it
YouTube
was.
it. If you want to genuinely know what he was like pre-injury, I would YouTube Gordon Hayward highlights. They played a series against the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs before he left that summer for here.
Yeah.
I would YouTube it and I would see because what he used to do was really something. He was he was the max guy. That's why he has all that money now. Like, he earned it, and people need to go and check out kind of why. Because the people who are asking, like, oh, is he really that good? Trade him, blah, blah, blah. Trade him. There's a reason they signed him. You should be excited.
What college did
He'll
he
get
go to
there.
again?
He went to Butler.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
Brad Stevens, yeah.
Yeah.
He's good. I watched him in Butler in that championship game, actually, against Duke. And I saw him throw up that half-court shot.
Duke, your team.
And my boys, who had apparently a hell of a game last night.
Speaking of your boy.
My boys. Good.
Speaking of your boys. Sorry.
My boys. But anyway, we'll get off the superstars for a second. Tatum.
Please talk about my boy. That sounded so bad.
Your boy,
That's,
Jason Tatum.
Tatum, yeah.
Man,
my favorite player on the Celtics.
I love him, but he's become a little too Kobe-like, and it bothers me. Where he'll dribble, pull up, shoot, over like two people. Stop doing it.
That's what happens when you take tips from someone like Kobe. Right?
He needs to go back to going to the basket because he's this huge, long freak guy. Like, get to the basket. Go back to doing what made you so good last year, and that was working within the offense. Like, don't try to don't.
So he needs to dial it down a little bit.
He needs to dial down. He needs to go like he dunked on LeBron's head last year. He needs to go back to being that guy. Don't do it. Don't try to be like, oh, I'm going to do it all by myself. You don't have to do it by yourself anymore because Kyrie's back and Gordon's back and you guys are better. Just trust that the offense is going to give you shots. It's okay.
Do you think maybe that doesn't have to step up, that he's doing this?
Do you
think like his leadership died down a tad, that this is why he's doing it?
I think a part of him is I'm 20 years old and I played so amazing last year. If I go back to the way I played, I'm going to be just as good. And I think a part of it is I worked out with Kobe. I've always wanted to be just like Kobe. That kind of together, I think those two ideologies. So I think it's kind of this unlearning those things and relearning how to play within the team again.
So
I think that has
he's
to
being
happen.
a little cocky, just a tad.
I mean, I would be, wouldn't you?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I would, yeah. I would be rags to riches, but
I think it's maybe part of his confidence of he was great opening night. He was great the second game.
So
of the
maybe
year.
he's gaining his confidence more, and he knows he can do it. But in your opinion, he needs to die down a little bit and be more of a playmaker and
less isolation basketball, which is just me dribble, pull up, shoot, and more work through the offense, pass the ball, trust that your guys are going to get you the ball in spots that are much easier for you to make shots.
Yeah, because he's still a rookie, too.
He's second year, but he
that's
just
still
started his second year.
That's still considered a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, he's a long way to go.
Yeah. Plenty of time to dribble, shoot.
Yeah, like that'll, if he needs to get better at everything else, he can dribble, shoot whenever he wants, but...
I mean, it's okay here and there, but...
yeah, you don't want it to be like the staple of your offense.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown coming back from plantar fasciitis. A little bit of that. He's looked better, definitely. Very happy about that. Love Jaylen Brown. Aaron Baines, big tank of a man in the middle. Awesome. Al Horford, everyone knows I love Al Horford and the MVP of this team. Marcus Morris has changed his diet, and he looks amazing. He's playing out of his mind. I'm going to skip Terry for 1 second. I have a lot to say about Terry.
So, I did read an article. I did skim an article about Terry.
Yeah.
Before you got here.
All right. We'll discuss it in 1 second. Let me just touch upon Marcus. Marcus Smart has lived up to his contract so far. He has shown that he is more than just a guy who can play defense and take charges. He is an underrated playmaker. And in my opinion, a better fit for a point guard position. Not a scoring point guard position, but how to run the offense. That's Marcus Smart. He knows how to run an offense. He sees the floor very well for, what he is. Let's jump to Terry. What did you read?
I skimmed. I'm not going to say I officially read the whole thing top to bottom because it was so damn long. But on Nesson came out with an article saying, like, Terry
is basically not happy where he is right now in the beginning of the season. Rumors said, I don't know if it officially said he wants to be traded or the article said they want him to be traded, but I saw the word trade in there, and in exchange for, I don't know if it was a first round pick or something along that lines, but it was basically saying that, like I said, I skimmed it, basically saying Terry's not happy where he is right now, and words out that him or someone else wants him gone.
So this is exactly what I wanted to talk about, actually, so you nailed it.
Wow.
Yeah. You nailed it, my man. So here's my thing with Terry.
I literally just skimmed it before you got here.
Doing work. All right, so here's my thing with Terry. Terry Rozier played great last season, right, in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Awesome. Scary Terry, the whole thing. Terry Rozier now has to come off the bench for someone who is considerably better than him.
That's what it was.
In Kyrie. He's not happy. These are like rumblings. They're kind of just like whispers, which, might get louder as, the season progresses. There are 7 teams interested in him, one of which is Phoenix and one of which I think is Orlando.
That's what I saw at Phoenix. That's what pointed.
I personally don't expect him to last the whole entire season. Like, he's a good backup.
You thought he was going to be gone last year, I think. Or not 100%.
I think last year I said that I don't think he'd be here at the end of this season.
Oh, okay.
Because he's a free agent at the end of the season. He's restricted, but still. He's not coming back. He wants to start. And my thing is with him...
How long do you think he'll last?
If he's not... I don't know. Like, so here's the thing with him. You can save and move him right before the trade deadline.
I was going to say, is it before or after deadline or during deadline?
Well, you can either wait till, like, the absolute latest time before the deadline, or you can go before. Danny Ainge is really unpredictable, so you don't really know what he's going to do. But my assumption is if he continues... Listen, he's not playing well at all. Rozier is like 36% from the floor. He's doing the thing that Jason Tatum's doing, but 10 times worse, which is dribble, 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 shoot over 3 guys. And he's taking really, really bad shots. Really bad. Like, every time he's inserted into the game, I cringe because he's not moving the ball. He's not playing point guard, which is now you're seeing Gordon Hayward's doing it instead. He's bringing the ball up the floor. He's playing that point forward spot. Marcus Smart is doing it more. Because those are the guys who can facilitate offense. Terry is dribbling and then just trying to be fancy like Kyrie does and then just shooting. Kyrie Irving is flashy but not forcefully. Like, it's just how his game is. Like, he's just a flashy player because it comes to him. It's the type of guy he is.
Some people don't have quite as that talent as...
It's
Kyrie.
like
it's rare.
It's very rare what
Yeah.
he has. So Terry is kind of forcing everything, and it makes me cringe. If they find a deal for him, okay,
He's gone.
move him.
Yeah.
Depends on the deal, right? So he's free agent at the end of the year. He's restricted. Everyone kind of knows he wants to get out of there because he wants an opportunity to lead a team.
Where do you think he wants to go?
I just think he wants to go somewhere he can
Be
be
a
the
star?
guy. Like,
Yeah.
if he's paired with Devin Booker in the backcourt of Phoenix, okay. If he's in Orlando with Mo Bamba, okay, sure. But what do the Celtics? Those are 2 teams. Like, what do the Celtics get out of that? That's the other side of it. I'll trade you, but what am I getting? Because you're worth something. I'm not getting garbage back for you. I'm gonna get something good. You know. So there are a lot of questions. That's why I like it when Hayward or Smart in the second unit with the bench guys, they have the ball and they're running point because the offense is actually happening.
Good.
Terry just wants to dribble and shoot. And he had this awful play in, I think, Indy. He dribbled into the paint, into the foul area, with 3 guys on him, and instead of passing out, so 3 guys on you, that means 2 defenders left for 4 other guys. Instead of passing out, he shot over all 3 of them. And guess what? He missed a shot. He's doing things like that. And he's not smart about it. And I think last year, it's hard to come back from being the guy in the playoffs to now you're back on the bench. It's hard. It's like okay, no, that's too extreme. I can't do it. I was gonna make like a Tom Brady comparison, but I can't do that.
No, Tom Brady's
that's
a goat.
too extreme.
You can't go
That's
that
too
far.
extreme. No. Something like, all right, it's a Garoppolo thing, right?
Okay.
So Garoppolo came in, played really well. He didn't want to be here anymore because he knows he can play. But Tom came back because guess who's the better quarterback? Tom.
Okay.
That's a much better comparison. That is basically what's happening here. Right? Except Kyrie's not 40 years old. Kyrie's 26 years old and has no...
And Danny Ainge is not protecting Kyrie Irving pretty much.
Yeah, and he's not going to retire anytime soon.
And I don't think
apparently Tom Brady isn't either.
I don't think Brad Stevens would get mad that you trade Terry Rozier.
No, I mean, listen, Kyrie's won a title. Kyrie knows what it takes to win a title. He's been through it. He's been to the finals multiple times. He's the guy. And listen, he's just more talented. I don't know what to tell you. You re-signed Marcus Smart. Terry's the guy to go. It's not Marcus. It's Terry. That's my piece. There you go.
Terry's the one to go. Well, I think... No, you said... I'm mixing up Al Horford and Marcus. I remember you saying Al Horford was the anchor to our roster.
Al Horford is the anchor.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart is the crazy man who everyone needs on their team.
Well, Marcus has got something to prove this season. He's got to dedicate the seasons to his mother.
Yes, I would love if they won a title at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And for him, I can imagine how much that'd mean to him. And it would mean a lot to us as his fans,
Oh, absolutely.
You definitely want. There was this awesome article about him in The Athletic by I think Jay King, and it was just about Marcus and his personal life and his mother, and he also lost a brother to cancer and everything. It was just a phenomenal article, and you just felt really bad for him.
I remember watching highlights from that draft year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was inside his jacket that he had stuff. He had stuff
33. I think,
resembling his brother.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It's awesome, and it's just you want a guy like that to win and to do well.
Absolutely.
So I hope that Marcus continues to have a phenomenal season because that dude's
I think he will,
great.
and I think after this, I feel like the Celtics are gonna wake up, and after this loss, I think it's Stevens, Kyrie, and even Gordon. Even though they're not 100%, I'm sure they're gonna get their team together and fix the kinks and work with a new formula and get the ball rolling because they're better than what they have been in the this past couple of games and weeks.
Oh yeah, they've
Not that they were terrible.
No, they're not, but they're figuring it out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when the Patriots go through in the early season and the sky is falling.
It was
relax.
It's like seeing when the Sox had that month where they were 2 weeks kind of win, lose,
not
win,
great.
lose. Yeah, not great. Yeah, exactly.
It happens.
It does.
You have to play through it. It's okay. The sky's not gonna fall.
Yeah, I was nervous during then.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not gonna lie, when the Patriots had that little at the beginning of the year when they weren't great. There's a part of your head.
I was I'll be honest.
Right.
I didn't watch. I haven't watched every single game this season. I actually, thank God, that was the last 8:00 game.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry, but
yeah, that's late.
I was panicking a little bit.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. So it's not just me. So you sit there and you're like, all right, no, I know this is the Patriots and Tom Brady. They're gonna figure it out. But for that first month in the back of your head, you're like, is this really it? Are we totally done?
I'll be honest. I watched the game with my brother all the time. He goes, "They're just doing this to scare us." I was like, "Really? You think? They're better than this?
Are they?"
And he goes, they do this every year. They scare us, and you know what? He's right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And listen, I'm not gonna lie, Kansas City scares the crap out of me. But we'll talk about this later. But you can never count out New England.
No,
You just can't.
Kansas City never had a chance.
Oh man.
No, I know they were undefeated. I know that, but
it
so
feels
had-
good being the only
sh-
team to give them the loss, though.
the streak had to end sometime, right?
Ours did. In the worst way possible.
Well, to be honest, I don't think we want another undefeated season. Because remember that one year we got undefeated and then we lost?
Yep. To Eli, who's trash now. Oh, he's
Yeah,
bad.
Eli was
So
trash now.
bad. Oh my god.
Do you want to do
Wow.
I know, like, we talked about it in your discussion, but do you want to do a quick rant on Brad Stevens at all, or?
My love for him has not changed.
Okay.
Listen, love Brad. He brought in. I didn't read this article yet. I have been meaning to read this article. Brad Stevens brought Peyton Manning in to talk to the guys about winning and culture and what it takes. Not my first choice. Tom Brady's that guy, but he's from Indianapolis.
Well,
so
Peyton
I get
Manning
it.
has free times on his
Yeah, he
hand. I'm
does.
sick of
He's
seeing
doing
him on
all
TV.
all state commercials or
I'm
whatever.
I'm
he's
sick
doing.
of seeing those.
No, it's nationwide commercials. I
I'm
think.
sick of seeing the nationwide commercials.
Oh my god. Oh my god. But
Brad Paisley, get out of that
oh
contract.
my god.
Jesus.
But I'm gonna read this article. I'm really interested in it. And he talked to the guys about winning and what it takes and the mentality you have to have. And I guess the Celtics really got, we're really happy he came in and got a lot out of it. And
I don't
that's cool.
as Tom Brady, but winning is important.
I lost the Super Bowl. I won the Super Bowl. But he's also Gordon Hayward's favorite quarterback. Along with Brad Stevens. Yeah. You're right over there.
I'm throwing up in my mouth here.
They're both from Indy. Are you
I don't
kidding?
care.
They're from Indy.
That's gross. Ah,
Listen,
Gordon.
listen.
Oh man.
I'm sure when they win,
What
if
is-
the Patriots win this year, they'll support Brady either way. Brad Stevens' son is named Brady. It's fine.
It doesn't change that Gordon Hayward.
You need a minute? You good?
No, I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
But yeah, what I love about Brad is he thinks out of the box. This is a really cool move, and I wouldn't be surprised if he brought in Alex Cora at some point and just be like, "Hey, can you talk to our guys about what you went through this season with your guys, or even some of the Sox players? And be like, you guys won a title. What did you go through this year? How was just." They're close to the Sox, just to give them something.
Victory smells good.
We get lots of beer at the end. It's a lot of fun, guys. All right. Why don't we...
Jackie Bradley going, my eyes. How does that champagne taste? Not good.
They ran out of booze, I think, at one point. Oh, my God. Anyway, let's bounce to the guys who skate on the ice with their ice skates. Bruins hockey.
Bruins.
October, 3 losses, 5 wins.
So
What
records.
do you have to say about your guys?
So record is 8-4 right now.
There it is.
Um,
I was reading the
but-
wrong thing. My bad. Here we go.
what were you reading?
I was reading up here.
Oh, October. You were still reading on the
My
Celtics.
bad. Yeah. All right. Down here, 8-4. Sorry.
Anyways, so recently the Bruins were on a road trip around Canada. Didn't go too well, but once they played Ottawa, they kind of woke up a little bit. So our favorite backup goalie, I wouldn't say that right now, but Halak has actually started a couple of games since Tuukka wasn't performing very well. And like I said throughout before even the puck dropped, that if Tuukka's not performing, he's gonna sit down, and which he did. But Monday night they played Dallas and they won in OT. But Tuukka did play that night, which is good. Goalies got to rest. You can't have enough goalies.
Of course.
Brad Marchand with the overtime goal and 5th goal of the season, and then obviously Pasternak just coming out scoring goals like he does. But it's the beginning of the season's kind of like the same situation as the Boston Celtics. I could say
It doesn't surprise me. You got to figure it out.
because like me, I was expecting higher expectations because like everyone said, the Bruins were so much fun to watch last season. But you know what? It's only been 1 month, and we're only, 7 days into this month? So I'm expecting more out of them. They're not doing awful, but they got to fix some things. And there was a couple of injuries. I know Charlie McAvoy's on the lineup. I was reading, and I could not find what his injury was specifically was. And this is hard for me because I haven't watched every single game just because the way my schedule works. But McAvoy's not playing right now. And Ryan Donato's been assigned to Providence, which does not surprise me. Sat out a few games, has 1 goal so far this season. And whereas last year he's came out, scored a goal in his first game. I think it was against Tampa Bay. It was around March. And every other game he was scoring goals, but he's in a full season of NHL hockey or AHL hockey. He's not playing for Harvard. He's not resting. He's not going to class. It's a different schedule for him.
Absolutely.
It's hockey, practice, drylands, hockey.
All the time.
All the time.
It's hockey.
And then traveling too. So, you know what? It's similar to the Jake. I think Andre Bajork, the situation.
Yes.
It's similar to his situation.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know what? He's 21 years old, or 21 or 22 years old. He's young. You just need time. He's not a bad player.
No, he's
Not
just
at all.
development. Like that's,
Yeah.
and that's why you're in the AHL, right?
And I love Ryan Donato, and I hope he does successful in Providence and makes his way back up. It's like with Stevens. You're not playing well, you sit out. You're not performing, you go down. This is what coaches do, and I can only say it's going to be better for the Donato to improve, and he's going to be one of the top goal scorers in Providence. And I hope to see him around, maybe hopefully the start of the new year.
Yeah, I mean,
If it takes that long.
it could be even earlier.
Earlier, yeah.
Every team does it. The Celtics sent down their first-round pick, Robert Williams, to Maine to play for the Red Claws, which is their, G League, their developmental team.
Yeah.
He played 1 game, had a pretty really good solid game, and they just brought him back up, like the next night.
Yeah.
He had like a 4 a.m. flight. So it's like the same thing with the Bruins. Is you have enough talent on both these rosters,
Yeah.
where these young guys can go down to these developmental leagues and play. You have to. The more reps you get, the better. That's the only way you're gonna get better.
And I was reading more and more. People are jumping up and down between Providence and the Bruins, between injuries and the talent. But I honestly think Cassie's just playing around with his lines. Except for that first line, because
no one touches the first line.
the first
Okay.
line is the first.
Best line in hockey.
The first line is locked. First line is locked, ladies and gentlemen. But I think he's playing around with his lines.
Every coach should be experimenting with their line.
Yes.
Brad Stevens does it. Bill Belichick does it. Like, he just throws guys out there randomly sometimes
Yeah.
in the beginning of the year.
I
You have to see what works.
To be honest, being more of a in-depth fan, I just in the past, just being a regular fan, I didn't really notice it before. But
Yeah. The more you pay attention, the more you're like, oh, that's what you're doing in the beginning of the year.
But getting back to the goalies.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm jumping around here.
No, go for it.
But I don't think Tuukka's doing awful. But the way that he started, Cassidy is sitting him out, and he's gonna play Halak, and I think Halak has been performing better than ever.
I have heard that, yeah.
So, if that's the case, Tuukka's gonna be sitting out or being your backup for the time being.
So
It's all about I don't think Cassidy has a set starter goalie.
No.
I think whatever fits, or whoever is ready, or whoever he wants to rest, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna flip flop.
Whoever's on that night
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah,
That's
even
it.
maybe even like practice too. Like I don't know this specifically, but if they're doing a hell of a job in practice, I'm sure like he's gonna switch them.
Oh yeah. And so my question to you is, because I've heard really good things about Halak.
I have too.
If Halak outplays Tuca the whole season, let's say, he has a really good season, really strong, and Halak is in his 30s, so you're not looking to build around a goalie that old.
Yes.
But would you consider drafting a goalie?
Come next season.
Yes.
If
If Tuca is outplayed by this backup, would you consider bringing in a young kid to start developing him? Because maybe Tuca's not what Tuca was.
Yeah, so the answer to your question is I'll be honest. I honestly hate change, but in consideration where's Tuca's been around for a while. We had a cup chance and Blackhawks beat us to it. But I think Tuca has. Are you saying get rid of Tuca? I don't know.
No, but my question would be
So-
do you slowly draft a kid and then slowly start bringing him in because you see that maybe Tuca's not what he was, so your replacement slowly.
So like we said in the past, we can't have enough goalies. So I wouldn't mind drafting a goalie. To be honest, if I see tremendous talent from the NCAA, and I would hope to see it in the Hockey East, just because they're the best. But I wouldn't mind picking up a goalie. Can't have enough goalies. It's hard for me to say, do you see Tuca moving on? I don't know that right now, but Tuca's been here a while. I think he was the backup even in 2000?
He was Tim Thomas's backup.
Yeah, he was been around for a while, and he's had that starting role for a while.
At least 5 years.
Yeah, at least 5 years. And I think maybe people want to see a change, and people want to see a goalie that can help us get a cup.
I agree with that, and I think part of it is there are times where Tuca just decides mentally not to show up. And I think that becomes frustrating.
And that's another thing too. When it means the most, there are times where Tuca does not show up.
Yeah,
and
that's a problem.
It's getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Pick up another goalie. I don't know where I see Tuca right now, but if down the road Tuukka Rask moves on, I don't hate it, but it's not like Tuukka's I'm not relying Tuukka on because we're not doing what we did last year.
Right.
And
obviously.
And I think so Tuukka, for some reason I think Tuukka did well last year in the playoffs for once.
So nice to see him finally have a breakout here.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Okay.
But if he sticks around right now, I'm going to say for right now, I don't see him moving anywhere, but I wouldn't hate it if down the road he moved with somebody else. And you know what? It's, some coaches, it just doesn't work. I mean, it's only Cassidy's second year, so, obviously it didn't work for Claude, but he's doing a little bit better with Cassidy.
Mm.
So that kind of shows something.
Mm-hmm.
That shows a little bit.
Coaching goes a long way. So.
And it's only been a month. So
yeah,
there's plenty of time.
Idea, long way to go.
But this is just a prediction. This is just, thinking outside the box. Yeah, I wouldn't mind picking up another goalie. All in out. Can't have enough goalies, Talar. So Yeah, that's my answer. I wouldn't mind picking up
Very
another
nice.
goalie.
Very nice.
On another note, we got some top goal scorers. Mostly you got the first lineup here. Pasta, 12 goals, 5 assists. Obviously played 14 games. Behind him, Bergeron, Martian, Jake DeBrusk, and Krejci. Pasternak, on fire. Love the kid. Playmaker, goal scorer, dangler. Bergeron, goal scorer, playmaker. Face of hockey. I love Bergeron with all out. Obviously, Pasternak's killing him in the goals there.
Oh yeah.
Seems like Bergeron's been quiet a little bit.
He's got the assist number though.
He's got the assist number, which is great.
Yeah.
I
need that.
I'm great for a playmaker. If you don't have the goals, be a playmaker.
Of course. All the time. Yeah, I mean it's the only
yeah.
other way to do it.
Obviously, yeah. Like I said, last few games were. Last game was great. Not the biggest fan of OTs because it's just nerve-wracking, but I'm glad they came with a victory. The road games, we got to be better on the road, guys. We cannot lose on the road. It happened opening night. No excuse. Still, Stanley Cup ceremony with the rings and everything and the banner, but it's no excuse to lose away. I know we discussed this in the beginning of the podcast. It's there's just some places that each team has that they can't win. But going on a road trip to Canada and losing every single game
That's tough.
That's just
Like,
that's not an excuse. But we gotta win away games, and it was. I feel like 2 years ago we were winning away games and not winning home games. What the hell's going on?
I know.
But like I said, it's the first month. I'm not gonna be pissed right now, but we gotta win more away games,
Danny.
boys.
Tell him.
Home
Send
games,
him like a pump-up
home games
video.
are great. Home games are doing fine.
But that's what you need.
Yeah.
You ideally need to win at home because hello, you're home.
Yeah.
You should win. At least.
Were they played Nashville Saturday? I wanted to know if they were home or away, but I forget. I am a little bummed that the season's a little different this year because we don't have Rene Rancourt.
Oh yeah. If they make the cup, I bet he'll come back.
If they make the cup, he better do one game.
I know. And then they better win that game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, just all in all, first month, I think, Cassidy's just, playing around with the players and working to see what works, what doesn't work. If Halak's still performing, keep him in. Tuukka, it's hard to say.
I think Tuukka, you just have to wait and see.
That's
all it is.
I was trying to spit out a word and I just couldn't do it, but you helped me there.
Got you.
All the way, Bruce Cassidy. I think, I just think he just needs to find his formula and get the ball rolling with more wins here. Not awful. What did I say? 8 wins, 4 losses.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's almost identical to the Celtics record, 6-4, 8-4.
Like I said,
it could be so much worse.
You know what? I feel like it's January right now because it's nighttime at 4:00. And
Oh God.
I'm just thinking that the Bees are fun to watch and the Celtics are fun to watch. We're waiting for a playoff run here.
Yeah.
But all in all, I just think Cassie needs to play around with the roster and see who works with who. But don't touch
course.
that first line, please. Do not, for the
He
love
won't.
of God, do not.
He will not touch that
first
first line.
I love that
Nope.
first line. I'm going to bed with dreams in that first line. That's. Oh, before we move on, sad news for the Chicago fans. Joel Quenneville got fired Tuesday. Tuesday. This guy led the Chicago Blackhawks to 3 Stanley Cup championships. Has been with the Chicago Blackhawks for 10 plus seasons. And if you didn't see them win the Stanley Cup, they've been in the playoffs every single year except for last year. Quenneville was a great Blackhawks coach. I wish him the best of the luck down the road. But this does sound similar to something we witnessed 2 years ago with Claude Julien and bringing Bruce Cassidy up. But they not only fired Joel Quenneville, I think they got rid of their assistant coach too. So, Talar, this just seems deja vu with Chicago, comparing Chicago to Boston. But it's showing that, times have changed with Chicago, and it's time to move on. They obviously weren't in the playoffs last season, and they're having a rough start this season. And I think they're 6-3 right now, so a little tough. But and they have a talented team. Players like Kane and Taves. They do not have a bad team. So it's showing that the organization is closing on one door with the coach and opening a new door. If you have any thoughts, I just wanted to share with the audience and fans.
Yeah, my thing with Joel Quenneville getting fired is, unlike Claude, Joel won 3 Stanley Cup titles. He helped build
Chicago.
A powerhouse.
Yes.
Wow. That was really something. That
was a dynasty there.
Absolutely. They were a well-oiled machine. Those guys were like the kings of hockey, and they earned it. They were fantastic.
I remember in 2013, Boston played Chicago, and it was going into 3 or 4 overtimes in the Stanley Cup final. I don't know if you were watching that game. I'm sure you or your brother were watching that game.
I was all over it, man. So it stinks because here's a guy who went through everything. 10 years, right? So
I think a little bit more than 10 years, it said.
So not every single one of those years was a fantastic Stanley Cup year.
No.
So here's a guy who went up and downs with your franchise. They're clearly in a rebuild in Chicago. Their glory days are behind them with those 3 cups and everything. Maybe they felt like now was the time to bring on a coach that's going to help with a rebuild. Maybe they felt like this guy wasn't right for their rebuild. You know what I mean? Which sucks because, he's given so much to them. But at the same time...
It's funny. It's funny you say that, and I feel like that was kind of similar to Claude. I'm trying not to compare, but sort of not really. Whereas they were bringing in new players, getting rid of Lucic and a couple of other players. I just feel like just looking in the past, it shows that a lot of coaches cannot handle change in the organization.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a special kind of someone to be able to coach a winning title team, go through a rebuild, and then go back up with them and coach a winning title team. It's hard, and it's not for everybody. Doc Rivers caved as soon as the Celtics said rebuild. He was like, nope.
Yeah.
And now he's in a rebuild himself in LA. And, the Bruins and the Celtics both got good coaches from that. So it's possible that Chicago lands a guy who's better for them right now.
I'll be surprised if Chicago doesn't find that.
We'll see, right?
Knock
you just
on
can't
wood, because
predict it.
I do love the Blackhawks, but I do hope they're successful throughout the rest of the season. Whoever they find or pick up, or even bring up from assistant.
Yeah, absolutely. You just, again, you have to wait and see, and you just hope that if they even sneak into the playoffs with a new coach, that would be really something.
That would be great. Get back on that track. I hated seeing my Stanley Cup bracket just not having the Blackhawks.
Oh, yeah, It was weird.
It,
I have to say it was weird.
it felt like my bracket was empty.
Yeah, it's like, wait, there's something missing.
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
remember.
Wait,
Where
what?
is it?
Exactly. That's
Very
what it was.
weird.
So, moving on to the NFL and the Patriots.
Football.
I'm gonna let you take the wheel because last 2 weeks I've been unable to watch the Pats. I did watch the Bears game, but I'm gonna let you take the handle on this. I trust you.
Thank you.
So you have the floor.
Thank you. All right. So, Pats won in Buffalo, which is always fun. Annoying place to play football. As a fan watching it, you're just like, what is happening? So, we've got Tom Brady, who had a Tom Brady game. I mean, I don't really need to say much about that. Julian Edelman, who had that cute little, like, toss.
Did Edelman get a fine for his hit? I heard he had a bad hit.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but
I thought I heard something.
Josh Gordon, I love.
I heard Josh Gordon's, getting open a little bit more,
He's-
making plays, scoring touchdowns. I heard that.
Yeah, so they took him off the injury report today, which is awesome because he had like the hamstring problem he was dealing with
He had a big play playing Green Bay too, right?
against the Packers.
Or was that Bills?
Yeah, I think he had a he had a play. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I know he had something.
Just watching highlights. I'm sorry. Go.
You can tell Josh Gordon is getting his, healthy again, right? So his hamstring is better. He's moving better. He's establishing better chemistry with Brady. And every week is just so much fun to spot him on the field and watch what he can do because he's this big, strong receiver who's pulling down, snagging balls from the air. Like, he's what they've needed. So he's been fun. Chris Hogan, not as productive as last season. I don't know if he's nursing an injury or what have you, or if he just isn't getting as open as he used to. But again, another great weapon. Gronkowski did not play in that Bills game.
He was on the IR or something.
He was on IR. He had like a back and an ankle, which is fine. You don't need to play against the Bills. Whatever. Dante Hightower is doing Dante Hightower things. James White is doing James White things. Sony Michel, I think, is going to come back against the Titans this week, who I think everyone's just fallen in love with this kid as a runner. What a great pickup. I never noticed. I did watch that Georgia game, that NCAA, that championship game. I watched Georgia-Alabama, and I really wanted Georgia to win.
I did too.
I don't remember Michelle running.
And I'm a big Alabama fan. You know why? Quarterback.
Which?
For Georgia.
Oh, for Georgia or for Alabama?
No, for Georgia. I am a big Roll Tide fan, but I wanted Georgia to win because I've been following this quarterback going to Georgia Bulldogs.
Yes. I remember now. Yeah. But
now I forget his name now.
I totally forgot. But anyway, Bills game, Pats, pull it out as they should. I think at the end of the game, McCourty had an interception to seal it. Devin, not Jason. Packers game, you had the unleashing of Cordarrelle Patterson, who is like 6'2" or 6'4", and he was playing running back. And in the second half, the Packers kind of plugged it up and they figured out a way to stop him. But in the first half, he just ripped them apart at the end of the first half, and for like a bunch of yardage and a touchdown. I think it was like 51 yards at the end of the first half. And he looked really good. You could just slide him right in and be a runner. He's huge. You can't even take him down that easily because he's just really strong and really tall and big. So while they do have a running back problem where they're really thin at running back, the fact that you can slide in a guy like that who's big and can just get you some chunk yardage is a really cool convenience to have. What do we got? Belichick being Belichick, McDaniels being McDaniels, Brian Flores, you can tell learning on the fly.
Yeah, that defense is getting
they had a 12-man on the field issue with the Green Bay game. So they were pretty pissed about that. But I mean, it's coming. It's slowly coming together.
Our defense is kind of coming together, I believe.
It is, and it's like, listen, with what all these teams we just talked about, it's like this with anything. You just have to play together. You have to learn. Stephon Gilmore has been awesome.
So I heard the score didn't spark up until the fourth quarter. Is that correct?
Yeah, the Patriots.
With the Packers game, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I figured. You're talking about the Packers. Yeah, the Pats kind of just ran away with it toward the end, like the very, very end.
Were you thinking it would have been a closer game because it's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady?
I was like, oh, wow. Yeah.
I feel like people hype up Aaron Rodgers too much.
So my question to you is this. With everyone is like, wow, is Aaron Rodgers the greatest of all time? Blah, blah, blah. So let me ask you. If
Aaron Rodgers is a great, talented quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. But he's a different class.
He's no Tom Brady. He's not in the same division. No. Sorry, I'm getting
No, you're fine.
Right now.
You're fine. But here's my question. I was thinking about this over the weekend. Are they having this debate as to who's the GOAT between Tom and Aaron?
There shouldn't be a debate.
Because there's no more Peyton Manning, so do they need to pick a new guy?
No.
But that's what's happening, though. There's no other guy.
Aaron Rodgers has been in the NFL for a while. It's not like it's not. I'm so getting heated up right now. It's not like there's a brand new quarterback coming into the NFL and sparking it up, and dominating games like he's trying to be the next Tom Brady. It's Aaron Rodgers has been around this league for quite some time now. He has a Super Bowl ring. He has a championship, guaranteed Hall of Famer, but he doesn't have like five championships. He's not a Tom Brady. You cannot and was Peyton Manning have 2, right? 2 or 3, something like that. 2. I feel like Peyton Manning's. You can't compare Aaron Rodgers to Peyton Manning because they have completely different games. Peyton Manning always played up in the high altitudes when he was in Denver too. I think Peyton Manning's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers. He's a great quarterback. Nothing against Aaron Rodgers, but I do not compare him to Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's clearly a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers, and I honestly I don't see that changing either.
Right. No, and I wouldn't compare them, but my question is now that they have Tom Brady's like, the guy now, right? So there's no more there's no Peyton versus Tom anymore.
You can't really do that cuz they're not in the same league or the same division.
Exactly, but when they would meet up, it would be like, "Wow, well who do you think is the best, Peyton or Brady?" So because they can't do that anymore, I think what they're doing is they're like, "Well, who's the next best?" Like, "Oh, let's just pick Aaron Rodgers." So now they just, instead of being, oh my God, Peyton Brady, oh my God, Rodgers Brady, because they need something to hype up. Like they need some type of rivalry or something.
It's a great game to go to. Tickets will sell out like crazy because it's Green Bay and Pats. Like that's like old time. When I hear Green Bay and Pats, I think of snow. On the ground. Cold. Yeah, exactly.
So cold.
Great game to go to, or great game to watch all and out. But Brady and Aaron Rodgers are not the face of this. I hope you're understanding what I getting at right here. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, you see the head matchup and you see the two faces. I don't see that hyping up the game. I just see just plain old Patriots and Packers.
Right.
That's it. I don't see Brady and Aaron Rodgers matching up together, hyping up the fans. It's not the same with Manning and Brady. That was clearly the face to hype up.
That was really fun, actually.
Those are two completely different things. That's how I feel about it. Green Bay and New England, great. Manning and Brady, that's what I'm going with. I got riled up there, but I have some friends that I have a friend that's a big Packers fan for some reason, lives in New England. I don't know. I think it's back when, the Pats weren't good, and
Brett
he
Favre was on the Packers.
he grew up being a Packers fan.
That makes sense.
It makes sense, but right now you cannot compare Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady or even Aaron Rodgers is gonna be great. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I can see
totally
see another Super Bowl with him down the road, but it's
they have a lot of work to do in Green Bay.
There's no comparison. There's zero comparison to those two. But that's my spiel on that. Do you have anything?
Last thoughts about the NFL before we continue.
I do have one more thing to share that I saw earlier today.
No, go for it.
I heard Dez Bryant from Dallas Cowboys signed with the New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans is no joke. They just handed the Rams their first loss. Kansas City, I think, won again. There's something to keep your eye on. I think Jacksonville...
As long as Hunt's giving me points, I'm good.
Listen, it's all going to come down to... I really hope... Listen, I don't know if the Patriots are going to find a way to get home field. I don't think Kansas is going to... Well, actually, they might lose to the Rams. I'm not sure. If Kansas City does not lose the rest of the season, the Patriots are not going to have home field. It's going to be a lot harder to go into Arrowhead and win than it would be to win in Foxborough in the playoffs. So when they play the Rams, all I'm going to say is I don't know when that matchup is, but I think it's soon. When Kansas City plays LA, I hope to God the Rams win that game.
It'll be a tough game for the Rams.
Because if they have, it will be. But if the Patriots and the Chiefs have the same record going into the playoffs, the Pats win the tiebreaker because they won that game against them.
Yes.
So we're hoping for a Rams win here. I am anyway.
No, I want the Rams.
I also have Todd Gurley in my fantasy, so give the ball to him and let him go.
all I care is give the ball to Hunt. Just give the ball to Hunt.
He'll get you points somewhere.
Give me some points. That's all.
Also, quick shout out to DJ Neptune, who is a dope DJ in New Jersey. I just thought I'd share that with everybody, because I want to show some love.
Show some
love. And speaking of things that we love, what did you see that you loved, Danny?
Oh, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. It was amazing. I guess for some reason I heard the critics didn't give a lot of good reviews. But I don't go by the critics.
I never go by
My
critics.
philosophy is go see a movie once. If you don't like it, go see it. Don't see it again.
Create your own opinions.
Yeah,
about it. Don't listen to
exactly.
other people.
I wanted to see this since I saw the trailer. But I didn't really know the story of Freddie Mercury too much, so I kind of wanted to understand where he came from and all that. And I like Queen. Queen's a great, great band to listen to. I don't know all their songs. I obviously know Bohemian Rhapsody. I know We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions. Another one's But Dust. I know.
Killer Queen is a really good one.
Killer Queen, You Make Me Feel So Real. I great hits, I know, but I don't know everything, and I wanted to understand the story, and it was a great band. It was amazing how they created new sounds and how they came up with this, and the story of Freddie Mercury. I don't mean to spoil it for anybody, but he seemed like a lonely guy throughout his time being with the band. And making his career. Most of you know that he died of AIDS. He was gay, so he screwed a lot of. I'm obviously gonna think guys. So, but I just wanted to understand the story more. It seemed like he found a friend at the end of the movie. It even said in the credits Freddie and so lives happy life until 1991 where he passed away. But it was all around a great movie. Music was awesome, and seeing that where they created one of their songs, Bohemian Rhapsody, was like on a farm and like in the middle of nowhere. So like that was pretty cool. Get away from everything and.
Oh yeah.
It was all around great, and the ending big scene where they play at this big charity concert. It was filled with like everyone, and all the money went to like some sort of African charity. That was amazing scene. It was awesome. This was the scene where like, Freddie, they're playing outside, and Freddie's playing the piano and everyone. It was just amazing. I love the movie. I recommend go see it. Don't listen to the critics. I guess it made more money than it was anticipated to make.
I'm not surprised.
So, I thought it would make a little bit more. But I do like those types of movies. Like I even liked Ray, Walk the Line. They're all great movies. Like if you don't know someone's story, like a famous musician, these are movies to see.
And they're made so well. Like
yeah,
it's so interesting.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, the documentaries are great, but
there's something different about major motion
there
picture.
is something different about seeing the movie. So before we head out, I gave a little top 5. Since I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, I was thinking of top 5 like throwback rock bands that you like, or do you want to do the NFL Week 10 picks?
I can quickly go through my top 5.
Yeah, go.
All right. This can be interchanged between 4 and 5. So, Bon Jovi.
Yes.
Iron Maiden. Queen, Guns N' Roses, and I'm putting the Beatles on my number 1 spot because they technically count. I was a Guns N' Roses junkie in middle and high school. It was weird, and I have a T-shirt somewhere. So much Guns N' Roses, it was like ridiculous the amount of it I listened to. But I listened to a ton of 80s rock. I'm a big hair metal fan, interestingly enough.
Okay.
Big fan. I think I have some Twisted Sister, some Rat, some of everything. Like they're just so fun.
I remember you talking about Iron Maiden when I first met you.
Yeah, they're they're a little heavier, but it's not like screamo, but like
No.
they're really good.
They're
good to work out to. Really good.
To my head, I'm like, this girl listens to Iron Maiden. What? But no, that's awesome.
I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but those the top 3 though for me, definitely Queen, GNR, Beatles. You can't beat it.
See, there's some songs I like of the Beatles, and there's some songs I don't like. I have a love-hate relationship with the Beatles. Do you want to hear mine?
Yes, go for it.
So my number 5 is Metallica.
Oh, very nice.
I got 4 is AC/DC.
Oh, I forgot about them. Yes, no, I love them too. Absolutely.
3 is Queen. Yes. 2 is Led Zeppelin.
Ooh.
And 1 is Aerosmith.
Oh, very nice.
You like that?
I do.
I thought that was good. So, so I don't know why I don't do this anymore, but I used to play guitar a lot. Something happened that like made me stop. Actually, I used to play for this program, Rock Band Camp. It's big now in the city of Waltham. Money goes to scholarships. I'm one of the founding people that did that. And when I did that and played guitar, we would play like a lot of Led Zeppelin songs. I remember playing a Queen song. I think we played an AC/DC song, but we also played like The Killers, like Kelly Clarkson. We played all these throwbacks, and it was amazing. You know what? I gotta pick up my guitar soon. I gotta get that tuned up. I gotta get that like tuned up and fixed so I can play it again. I miss playing. I bumped into one of the guys that runs it, Kevin Burke.
Oh yeah, Mr. Burke.
Mr. Burke runs it. Shout outs to Mr. Burke. he kept asking me. Every time I bump into him, he keeps asking me if I play, and he sees us on the podcast and then doing our shows. And I go, no, I'm trying to get my career back on. I'm trying to get my life back together because he knows my whole situation. But I would like to pick up the guitar again and play some of these songs that we listed, some of these bands that we listed here. But yeah, that's my top 5. That I put down. But before we head out, we're
gonna make some picks. Real quick, the music video to One by Metallica still weirds me out. I don't know if you've seen it. We used to watch it in history class, and I was like, "This is freaking me out." Can we stop watching?
Who'd you have for history?
Mr. Gavin.
Oh, you had Mr. Gavin?
I had Mr. Gavin. Yeah,
I
he was
had
awesome.
Mr. Gavin too.
Enter Sandman is awesome.
He got Teacher of the Year for history, I think.
He should be Teacher of the Year.
Yeah, he's good.
And
I did a 5-page paper on the Who.
Oh, I forgot about them. That's who I forgot off my list. Oh, I'm so mad.
I did a
All right.
5-page paper on the Who.
Everything shifts now. Everything gets bumped. The Who is in there in like the top 3 somewhere. Oh my God, where does it go? I don't know, but the Who is there. Oh, I'm so upset.
Okay, we'll put it on like.
This is traumatic.
We'll put it on the 3. Here's a Who.
Here we go.
Talking about my generation, right?
That's right. People trying to put us down. Beatles, Guns N' Roses, Who, Queen, Maiden, or Jovi.
All right, our night's complete, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
All right,
Whoa.
let's get to these picks.
All right. Let's do it.
So, week 10. All right.
Oh, man.
I'm 67, you're 65, so I'm beating you by 2 points. So week 10, we got one of the first games. I think this is a Thursday night game. Panthers Steelers. What do you have?
I'm gonna go Panthers.
All right, Talar, Panthers. I'm gonna go Steelers. Redskins or Bucks?
Ooh, it is Fitz starting for the Bucks.
I'm going Redskins.
I'll go Bucks. If he's playing, they're winning. Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah, Chiefs for me too.
Cardinals Chiefs is the matchup, if you're wondering. Bills Jets. This is so bad. This is such a bad matchup.
I got LaShawn McCoy.
You got the Bills. All right, I'm gonna go Sam Darnold and his nice hair.
You're going Jets?
He says nice hair. Of course I'm gonna go Jets. Oh, it's so bad.
That was such a tough pick, too.
Oh my God. And it's like a tough bad pick. It's like, which is worse? I don't know.
That's the worst games probably to
Oh my
watch.
God. Last year when they played and they had their color rush and it looked like Christmas on your TV screen. I'm like,
It's going to look Christmas again, probably.
Oh, man. Jaguars, Colts.
I'm going to go... I'm going to go Colts.
I'm going Jags.
Wow, we got a lot of different picks this week. This is crazy. This is going to be an interesting week. Lions or Bears?
Ooh, Bears.
Lions, Tigers, and Bears.
Oh, my.
Lions and Tigers and Bears.
Oh, my. Mitch
Lions and
Trubisky.
Tigers and I'm going to go Lions, too.
Trubisky.
You said Lions?
I said Bears.
Oh, you said Bears. I'm going to go Lions.
Saints, Bengals.
Saints.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
When the Saints,
I'm gonna go New Orleans.
When the Saints go marching.
Pats or Titans?
Pats. Is that a question?
What a hard one. Oh my gosh. Falcons, Browns.
I'm gonna go Falcons.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Falcons.
Although I love
Baker Mayfield.
I love Mayfield.
Chargers, Raiders.
I feel like this is a tough pick.
I'm gonna go Chargers on this one.
Yeah, my boy's not doing good this year.
Carr?
Yeah, boy Carr's not doing good this year.
I'm going Rams. Seahawks, Rams.
I'm gonna go Rams.
Dolphins, Packers.
I'm gonna go Packers.
Pack. I'm gonna go Pack. I like the Packers.
I didn't I not say I like the Packers?
Yeah.
I like the Packers. You know what? I'm gonna stop right there.
next, you're gonna be like throwing stuff next. I can't have this here. Cowboys, Eagles. I think this is like a Sunday night football game.
They lost to the Titans.
They're so trash. I'm going Eagles because the Cowboys are so bad. My Twitter was like blowing up with Cowboy fans like crying basically.
There's a guy who worked as a Cowboys fan. He was so upset that they lost to the Titans.
They're bad. Like, all right, Giants, Niners.
I'm going Niners.
I'm going Niners because the Giants are walking dumpster fire.
They're a joke.
You could have drafted a quarterback and you drafted a running back. And it makes me so mad. They're so stupid.
They're trash.
They're garbage. They're absolute garbage.
Trash. Trash. I'm trying to be Freddie Mercury right now. Trash. I'm just kidding.
You good?
I'm good.
Good. Okay.
Before we head out, I want to give a shout out to my boy Mike Lombardi, who's making us a brand new table that's in the works right now. I've been seeing videos. He's been showing them on Facebook. I've been seeing pieces of the video of the table being made. I didn't see the whole thing because I don't think he wants to spoil it for us. But we officially have a table being made for us. I'm praying that it's bigger than this and we have more room. It's going to be like the old table we used to have. So shout out to Mike Lombardi and his little Geppetto company called Lombardi's Woodworks, if I got that correct. But I want to give him a shout out because he is making a table for our podcast, and he has been on here from time to time when I do the Masters edition. So if you would like to check out some of his woodwork, go on his Instagram. I'm sure you know Lombardi 10, something like that. But anyways, if you all know him, go check him out. He does a great job. I just want to give a quick shout out. But
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have any
Absolutely.
final thoughts?
My final thoughts are go Pats, go Bees, go C's.
Yes.
And that Luke Walton is in a lot of trouble in Los Angeles. That's it.
All right. So I feel like we're not going to be back here until after Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Have
everybody.
a happy Thanksgiving. Have a safe Black Friday.
Oh, yes.
Go Bruins. Go Celtics. Go Patriots. And congratulations to our 2018 World Series champions, the Boston Red Sox. Have
Good job, guys.
a great night, great weekend, folks. We will see you soon. Happy Thanksgiving.
She said she'd never turn on me. You're lying.